Last year, one poignant photo put the spotlight on service dogs that help our military veterans. It showed a service dog named Sully at the foot of the casket of former President George H.W. Bush, whom he loyally aided in the final 6 months of Mr. Bush's life. But Sully is just the best known of the legions of dogs doing this important work. Correspondent Don Dahler got a closer look and joins us now. Don, good morning.
Good morning. Veterans who survived war zones can face all kinds of challenges, from traumatic brain injury to PTSD. And these dogs have proven to be both beloved companions and caregivers on their road to recovery. That includes Sully, who's now back on the job helping other members of the military. With his gentle devotion to former President George H.W. Bush, the dog named Sully won a permanent place in our hearts. But Cliff Miller fell in love with the lab years earlier. At just 8 weeks old, the pup was chosen by Miller, his partner Patricia Summers, and their community service group, Friends of America's Vet Dogs, for a very important job and gave him a name with special meaning.
When we picked him out of the litter, his hair was closest to Captain Sullenberger's.
Sully, of course, was named for a man who exhibited heroism in civilian and military life.
We chose Sully to honor Captain Chesley Sullenberger, not because of his ability to save all those people in landing the plane. Those particular flying skills came about when he was a United States Air Force fighter pilot.
America's Vet Dogs, the Long Island-based charity that provides service dogs to veterans, depends on donations from ordinary people. Miller's group of 25 volunteers raises more than anyone else. I think a lot of people would be surprised that these dogs aren't supplied by a grateful nation to these vets.
The Vietnam vets that were returning from combat back then were not, it was actually a disgrace the way the vets were treated. And now is the opportunity that we, as a group of just friends, that if they need a service dog to have a better life, we can actually do something to make that happen.
Men and women like Sharon Renier. She was a nurse for 27 years and treated 9/11 victims. Soon after, she enlisted herself in the Army and was assigned to an emergency room in Baghdad. What was that like?
We were having rockets and mortars lobbed in all the time.
Did you have an idea then how it was affecting you emotionally?
I think it hits you a little bit later. You just become almost robotic to what's going on.
After 10 years in the United States Army, Sharon decided it was time to hang up her uniform and try to return to civilian life. That was not as easy as it sounds.
I was put into the Warrior Transition Battalion in Bethesda because, you know, I had had an attempt, and this way...
An attempt?
Yeah. I had
Suicide
had an attempt because I had had so much guilt and so much, all these things that had built up.
She was having trouble functioning. Going out in public made her anxious, sleep eluded her, or was interrupted by night terrors. But a chance hospital encounter changed her life.
One of the Boston bombing victims, Mark Fucarelli, was at Walter Reed. He had a dog, Comrade, and he was just kept coming to me. I just said, I think that's what I need.
Easier said than done. Vet dogs cost upwards of $60,000 to raise, train, and care for. But Sharon was determined.
I wanted a dog, but little did I know, I was getting better because I was working towards this dog. So it was about 4 months after I actually retired out of the Army that I got the phone call, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna get a dog.
That dog is Eddie, a bit of a goofball when he's not working.
Eddie Door.
But all business when he is.
Yes, Eddie, good job.
The 4-year-old Brindle Labrador never leaves her side.
I woke up and I could not believe that this was possible, but I have night terrors, and Eddie interrupted my nightmare, night terror, the first night I had him, and I was like in tears the next day. If he did nothing else for me but that, life was going to be great.
So is being out like this something you could have done before, Eddie?
No, I did. Like I said, I used to do a lot of isolation.
Not any longer. Eddie has opened up the world to her again. getting Sharon out of the house and into social situations, something she never thought she'd be able to do, like having lunch with her family. And as for that other lab, Sully, well, he now works at the same hospital where a service dog showed Sharon there might be a way out of her PTSD. Sully is now part of a team of rehabilitation dogs at Walter Reed Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. Samantha Murdoch is one of Sully's handlers.
We have a list of ward patients where they go out and get visits every day. Sully, stand. He knows certain offices that he likes to go and visit people in, and certain wards and clinics that he absolutely loves.
They automatically calm you down. They put you back, they put things back in focus, right?
Navy sailor Robert Hunter.
And they help us. So it's really nice that Walter Reed does this for us, and among many other things.
Sully and the other dogs also help military beneficiaries, like 11-year-old Camden McAlpine, who is diagnosed with a rare immunity disease.
The dogs come and you can just like it just makes you feel a lot happier to have a dog just with you.
It's not always medicine that heals.
Sully, salute. Yes, good boy.
Sometimes just having a friend can work miracles.
Now, Cliff's group actually names all of the dogs they sponsor after honorable military heroes as a way to carry on those legacies. Sharon and Eddie are hoping to travel soon to bring awareness to the many issues our current veterans are facing. And as for Sully, he'll be serving patients at Walter Reed for as long as he can.
How old is he?
Sully, I think he's 7 or 8. I'm not positive, but yeah.
I mean, you really understand the power that these dogs can have. With Sharon's story about how the dog on the first night woke her up from night tremors, I mean, that's extraordinary.
They're making
price tag
people
on this.
no, they're making people functional human beings.
They are literally saving lives, and Sharon wants to bring attention to the issue of suicide among veterans that we've talked about. It is an enormous problem, and these dogs can really help with that.
Yeah, and there are other groups I know that do some of the training for the dogs, but same thing, you've got to get money to them because they're not supported.
It's not
by their
government
funds.
support,
Exactly.
But we thank you, Don. We thank you.